Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Vanishri Ayurveda. If you haven't watched the part 1 of Ayurveda for prediabetes, the link is in the description below. Please watch the part 1 before we talk about the part 2 and how Ayurveda can help in prediabetes. Right now in the part 2 of this video, we are going to talk about how Ayurveda looks at prediabetes and how Ayurveda, simple Ayurvedic tips that you can implement in your diet and your lifestyle to reverse pre-diabetic stage. Now, according to Ayurveda, pre-diabetes is a kapha disorder or a kapha imbalance. That means your water and earth elements are quite imbalanced in the body. It could either be imbalanced in a specific region in the body or overall in the body, or simultaneously in different systems in your body. How would you know that water and earth element would be imbalanced? Or people who naturally have a lot of water and earth elements, so people who have a kapha constitution also are more prone to getting pre-diabetes because they naturally have a lot more water and earth element in them. How can Ayurveda help? What things can you do to implement in your daily routine that would help with prediabetes? One simple thing that you can do is drinking hot ginger tea 30 minutes before your meals. It should not be dry ginger, it should be fresh grated ginger root, and this could be good for any digestive type, any constitution, but just for pitta individuals who have high fire and water element in them, just be mindful that you're not overusing ginger and getting overheated. But just grating about a 1/4 inch piece of ginger in about a cup of warm water or hot water, letting it steep for some time and drinking this water 30 minutes before your meals. The reason is ginger is called as deepana, and that means it will stoke your digestive fire and help not collect any digestive toxins in your system. Most of the times diabetes also happens not just because of water and earth element imbalance, but also because of a lot of ama, that is digestive toxins that have been collected in your system or in your gut. Another simple thing that you can implement is grating this same ginger root, like fresh ginger root, adding say about 1/2 teaspoon of maybe a whole big piece of ginger, adding maybe 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and squeeze a dash of lime, and keep this ginger pickle in your fridge if you cannot do this every day. Eating 1 or 2 pinches of this ginger pickle about 15 to 20 minutes before you have a meal is again going to do the same. If you're eating excess salt in your diet, please try to avoid any excess salt in your diet. Do not put salt over your food. Always try to cook in with the food while you're cooking the food. If you ever want to use salt on top of your foods, use sandha salt or rock salt, according to Ayurveda, which will not cause such a greater imbalance. What things to avoid if you have prediabetes? Try to avoid heavy fruits like bananas, mangoes, figs, pineapples, processed meals, soya products. Soya products are very, very important these days because soya is put in everything. Soya is put in chocolates, lecithin is in chocolates, soya oil or soybean oil is in a lot of processed food these days. So just being very mindful that you're unknowingly, even though you're not eating soy in the form of soy is always there hidden in a lot of food items, and soy really messes up your endocrine system. So it really messes up with the production of healthy hormones in your body. Processed meals, obviously try to eat as fresh as possible. Try not to do any processed meals. Now we've talked about what to avoid. What can we eat if you have pre-diabetes, right? We talked about so many things to avoid. The things that you should favor probably are pungent tastes. So try to use black pepper, mustard seeds, ginger, cayenne pepper, turmeric, cinnamon, fenugreek seeds, which are drying and heating in nature in the body, a lot in your diet. You can also favor foods that are bitter in taste, bitter and pungent in taste, like bitter gourd, garlic, bitter greens, like fenugreek greens, right? Or collard greens, chard, legumes, okra, which is bhindi, right? You could do light fruits like apples, pears, pomegranate. Pomegranate is a really good fruit for pre-diabetes. Green leafy vegetables, add a whole lot of green leafy vegetables, but everything that you eat should be cooked ideally. Low fat dairy products are fine, though ideally I don't recommend doing low fat. If you want to reduce the amount of fat, just add in the equal amount of water in the milk and try to drink that rather than getting a low fat milk, because it has a lot of additives in it. Lean meats, try not to do red meat every single day. Other simple things that you could do are eating grains. See, people would tell you if you have diabetes, don't eat grains or don't eat carbs. That is not true. You can absolutely have good, healthier carbs in smaller quantities in your diet. The carbs that I would recommend are barley, millets. These days are extremely popular when it comes to balancing blood sugar levels. So try all sorts of millets. The best millets that would work are foxtail millet, little millet, kodo millet. You could try barnyard millet. There are some amazing, sorghum is a really good millet. So you can definitely try doing millets a lot more in your diet. Rye, buckwheat, oats, rice, and wheat. Try to stay away from those things. Okay, so rice, oats, wheat are really gonna cause a lot of sugar imbalances. Try to non-starchy vegetables like tomatoes, celery, cucumber, mushrooms, sweet potato, squash, bell peppers, zucchini. All of these are really great. Eat around the same time every day. The reason is you're trying to send signals to your digestive system to work at certain times during the day. Ideally, do not eat after 7 p.m. Try not to eat, definitely not to eat after 7 p.m. If you are a person who can tolerate hunger well, you can try intermittent fasting. You can fast for over 15 to 16 hours, but Ayurveda does not recommend intermittent fasting for every individual. It's a very individualized system of medicine, and it says that first observe how your digestive fire is. If you have a very strong fire, strong sharp fire, that means Tikshna Agni, and you have to eat breakfast in the morning and you still force yourself not to eat, that is going to cause further more imbalances in your body. So if you're a hangry person, I would recommend you to eat breakfast, but the breakfast should be something light. Sleep before 10 p.m. and wake up before 6 a.m. Why this? Ideally, you should get at least 6 to 8 hours of deep restful sleep if you are in the pre-diabetic stage. If you do not, then the melatonin production will be imbalanced. In turn, all the other endocrine organ hormones that are produced in your body are going to be imbalanced. Incorporate yoga in your daily routine. You could do certain yoga poses that are very beneficial for pre-diabetes, that are shoulder stands, bridge pose. You could do fish pose, forward bends, bow pose, wheel pose. You could do child's pose, tree pose, anything that bends your core. Okay. Another very important factor that results in pre-diabetes is stress. I feel stress is so undervalued these days with the amount of work that we put on ourselves. Not just the work, but also our emotional stress, our work stress, our life stress. In general, these days, life is so fast-paced, right? So we just keep accumulating stress from every angle possible. So to release the stress every day, meditation and breath work is very crucial. Some breathing techniques that would work for pre-diabetes is things that stimulate the organs in your gut. So Kapalbhati, Ujjayi, which is the victory breath, and Bhastrika are 3 pranayamas that will really help with activation of the internal organs and calming your system down. Now, what are simple Ayurvedic formulations that you can start without any harm to your system is you incorporate amla fruit in your daily diet. Every morning, eat at least 1 or 2 pieces of amla on empty stomach. You can add in turmeric to this. If you're taking fresh fruits, you can just sprinkle some turmeric on it. But if you do not have access to fresh fruit and they're not in season, you can mix half of amalaki powder, that is amla powder, and half of turmeric, so equal proportions of turmeric and amla. This is called as Nishamlaki in Ayurveda. And Nishamlaki is a very simple formulation and can help you a whole lot for fasting blood sugar levels as well as postprandial high blood sugar levels. So I would recommend taking half a teaspoon early in the morning on empty stomach, and maybe half a teaspoon after lunch and half a teaspoon after dinner with warm water, nothing fancy. Another simple formula, you can add neem to turmeric and amlaki, and that could also be, but if you're a vata person, neem is very, very drying in nature. Even turmeric is very drying in nature. So you have to be very careful as to that you're not drying your body too much. If you have dry hair, dry skin, you're a vata individual who has high air and ether element, try to be very mindful that you're not putting too many drying things in your body. A simple tea that you can drink throughout the day is CCF tea, that is cumin, coriander, fennel, ginger, and turmeric. 5 things in the water. Great fresh ginger. If you have access to fresh turmeric, that's great. You can use fresh turmeric. Put all these 5 things in the water and drink this tea throughout the day. It can certainly be very, very beneficial in maintaining blood sugar levels and also help with water absorption in the body. Other things that you can do is one simple formula early in the morning. Mix fenugreek powder, neem powder, cinnamon powder, amla powder, and turmeric powder in equal quantities. You can take a 1/4 teaspoon of each, and then mix this powder together. Or you can take maybe half a cup of each powder, mix it together, and take 1/4 teaspoon of this powder 3 times after meals. Soaked nuts are very, very beneficial in diabetes. So soak the nuts overnight, and in the morning maybe eat handful of soaked nuts and seeds. They're very beneficial. And after all of these things, you must have read this information a lot everywhere, or a lot of people must have talked about prediabetes. But the difference between listening and implementing and consistently implementing it is going to be the key. So try to implement it consistently for a month or 2 and see if that makes any change, like significant changes in your blood sugar levels or HbA1cs. As I said, try to start with baby goals, like baby steps first. Okay, so say I'm going to do this for the next week, and let's see how I can get there, and then once you do it for 1 week, reward yourself with something that you like, and then keep doing it for the next few weeks until it becomes your second nature, it becomes your habit, right? But I hope this information was valuable to you, and they're very simple tips, so please try to implement them in your life, and try not to let your pre-diabetes convert into diabetes. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed yet, and I will help you all learn more about Ayurvedic perspective on different diseases, imbalances, symptoms, and I'm here to help. So thank you for watching. I'm your Ayurvedic practitioner, Vanishri, and I'll see you in your next video. Thank you.